You may have seen just a few days ago a promotion I had in a video for SwordGuyStore.com, and in that video I discussed the bottomless boxes he has for a limited time only, but in this video I'm going to be doing a more dedicated, well not more dedicated, a fully dedicated video on that product because, one, I simply like working with SwordGuyStore.com and told him I would do a dedicated video and an in-video promotion. And number two, the product itself, the bottomless box, really does deserve a dedicated video. There's that much going on. So with that said, let me explain, and then I'll show you the products that I got in my box. So these are the bottomless boxes. He's got Game of Thrones style, Lord of the Rings style, Harry Potter, Kill Bill, anime style, and Sword Guy bottomless box. The one I'm going to be showing you today that I got is the anime style Sword Guy bottomless box. And these prices are all in Canadian. This is 180 Canadian, translates to, or converts roughly to $135 USD. With about $30 shipping, it comes out to about $165, and that's still a great deal because the main sword you will be getting in this box alone is probably close to $200 worth of value. So you save money on the main sword and you get a bunch of cool products. And now let me show you what's up with those. So I mentioned how each bottomless box comes with its own special blade. This is the main attraction of the bottomless box that I got. But let me also mention that each box does also guarantee not just a randomly selected sword for the theme of the box, but it also includes 10 items guaranteed per box, 6 more blades on top of the main sword, along with associated and assorted accessories for it. And associated, I mean, for example, like a sword stand is what mine also came with. Very useful stuff. But let me show you this blade, because I know you're probably just itching for me to show you how beautiful this thing is. And indeed, it is beautiful. You can see it has some of the wax on there from the sheath, as it should. Keep it nice and healthy. And you can easily wipe that off if you want. But since I'm going to be putting it right back, I'm going to leave that on there for now. But this is a 5160 mono-tempered full tang Viking arming sword. And I got to admit, when I was younger, I preferred more European-style swords. But as I've been getting older and becoming more of a weeb, I've been leaning more towards the katanas because you have Iato and Noto and fun things like that. But since I got this arming sword, I really love both. The basic functionality of this blade is about as long as a katana, but it's super light, absolutely lighter than the katana. And of course, you wield it with one hand as opposed to a katana, which you generally wield with two. I really love this thing. It's a nice change of pace, although I still love the katanas. I really do. And again, depending on the bottomless box that you'll get, for example, if you get the anime style box, chances are you'll end up more with a katana as opposed to an arming sword. So I might as well show you one of the katanas back there. So this is the Samurai Jack style katana from SwordGuyStore.com as well. And the easiest way to tell it is a replica of Samurai Jack's is, of course, the wrap, but also the Tsuba, or the guard. He's got that classic rectangle guard there, kind of chunky, kind of big, and absolutely iconic. Now, this is also a beautiful blade. If I recall, this is 1050 or 1060 carbon steel. So also very nice quality. And, of course, you have the Noto. Now, I can't do the full thing here because there's not enough room. That's just an example, though. I do love this blade very much. This is the first one that I got working with SwordGuyStore.com as well, so it's a bit sentimental to me. The one back there is more of a decorative piece because it has that ribbon attached to it. That is a replica of Sode no Shirayuki from Bleach, but it is still, despite, in my opinion, being more of a fancy showpiece of a sword, still, it's full tang. It is just like this one, carbon steel. It does cut, so it's not just for show. It is functional as well. I just, of course, if I'm going to use one of the two katanas, I do prefer this one. And as you can see, I've been putting a lot of work. I gotta reformat the grips a little bit. I've been a bit too rough with it on my end. But the show goes on. I have more weapons to show you guys. But before we do, let me just clarify. My bottomless box did not come with two main swords, not the katana and the arming sword. I think I made that pretty clear. I'm just being extra safe. Mine only came with the arming sword. But depending on the type of box you get, for example, just reiterating the point, if you get the anime style box, chances are you'll get a katana. Maybe one of the two back there, maybe Samurai Jack's, maybe Sode no Shirayuki, maybe a different character's katana. That part is a bit up to chance, but regardless, it's most likely going to be exceptional value. Now, an example of what else might come in your bottomless box is, for example, this blade right here, which I got to be honest with you guys. When I first took a look at this, I thought it was a bit weird and janky, and I underestimated this blade. I didn't think it would really cut very well. It does. It does. It's very light and very thin. And like I said, I thought it was a bit janky at first. But no, man, this thing is very serious. I actually even pierced myself with it by accident. So, it's funny. As opposed to being upset by piercing myself with this blade, it kind of felt like, all right, I should respect this blade. I should not underestimate it. So it taught me a lesson. So I really like this blade now. It taught me a good lesson, not just for itself, but any blade in general. Just don't underestimate a blade. It's a bad idea. No matter what you think of it, don't underestimate it. Always respect the blade. Now, I think this thing's pretty dang cool. Again, super light, super thin. It cuts very quick, very efficiently. And I think for a more self-defense scenario like at home or something, this is pretty dang functional because it doesn't take up a lot of room. And again, it's very light. You can draw it quick. You can strike quick. And yeah, it's pretty dang cool. Now, it also came with the sheath. Came with some little throwing daggers there. I'm not going to bring those out because my bottomless box also came with literally more. I'm not a throwing knife guy. I don't know the terms for this, to be honest. More normal-sized throwing knives, whatever they're called. So that's pretty cool. And I'm not going to underestimate these either. I'm going to be very careful with these. I haven't really messed around with them, but they are there. Now, something else I really like that the bottomless box came with is this hatchet. I think this is like a tactical hatchet, but the pick on it honestly might be more functional even than the hatchet itself. So you could argue that this is a tactical pick, not a tactical hatchet. So that's pretty interesting. Now, this thing as well, I really like. It's got good weight distribution. It feels nice in the grip. It's not too heavy. And yeah, I tested out both sides of this one, honestly, just very minor tests. And I gotta say, the piercing side scares me more than the pick side scares me more than the hatchet side. But this is multifunctional. I personally leave this next to my bed now in case I need it in the middle of the night for whatever reason. And that even includes like breaking a window. I think this thing could definitely break a window pretty well. And then you could scrape out the sides pretty safely and hop on out. So it's, again, multifunctional, at least in my opinion. We have a few more blades, too, that came in the bottomless box, including this miniature scimitar-esque blade. Now, at first, I really didn't like this thing. It felt kind of silly to me, honestly. But the more I played around with it, I would be willing to give it a shot, if only it came sharpened. Mine didn't. Perhaps if you get one, it will. But I would say probably don't bet on that. If you sharpen it yourself, you might be able to have some fun with this, though. It's very light. And I think it would cut, if it was sharpened, I might buy a grindstone just to sharpen this thing. Now, I haven't wanted to sharpen any of my swords myself because you can damage them if you don't know what you're doing, and I don't really know what I'm doing. So generally, it's better to send them off somewhere that can professionally do it. But for a blade rather, that came in a bottomless box that I didn't really pay for, essentially this was free. I mean, I'm willing to give it a go myself. Maybe I'll learn something in the process and actually make this thing functional. But for now, think of this as a little bonus. And we're not done yet. The name Bottomless is indeed, it's there for a reason, all right? It really felt like it was endless. When I was opening this stuff up, man, I was like, oh my gosh, the boxes keep coming. Because there was even like some boxes in the box. The bottomless box had boxes in the box. So one such thing also included this little dagger, which is kind of ornate. Well, not kind of. It's absolutely ornate. I mean, I don't really know what this thing's for necessarily. It's a very odd design. Maybe, I'm forgetting the exact term for it, but maybe it's the type of blade, you dual wield your main sword and like a little pairing dagger or something like that. There's a name for it. I'm forgetting it right now. Feels bad, man. And the idea, you can parry with this or maybe get the enemy's blades stuck in the middle and then use a leverage to disarm them or at least make an opening where you can strike, that sort of thing. I don't necessarily know if that's the idea with this, but perhaps it is. Perhaps not. Again, think of that as another little bonus. And the final bonus blade that came in my bottomless box is this Batman logo emblem style Swiss Army knife. Because who doesn't need another Swiss Army knife in their arsenal, especially one fashioned after the Batman logo? So there's that. So that's about it for the bottomless boxes. Keep in mind that they also come with some accessories. For example, mine came with a sword stand, not the one back there. It's a different one, and I'm in the midst of setting that up. Also had a little Pikachu keychain plushie thing, which I gave to my mom while she was here for Thanksgiving. So that was nice. Thank you, SwordGuyStore.com. Always a pleasure working with this website. I really do think the products are good value, guys. I really do. $135 USD 180 Canadian plus 30 shipping. That is a really good deal in my opinion for the blade that you get, plus all the bonuses, all the accessories and stuff. It's a good value. And that's, I think, in part why this is only a temporary thing. I think he brings them around generally for the holidays. So now's your chance if you're interested. And of course, if you're not interested in the box, but you're interested in his inventory, it's still worth checking it out at swordguystore.com. He updates this pretty regularly when he gets new things in. And it's kind of cool just to browse as well. Because remember, a lot of these blades are fashioned after anime, video games, comics, movies, things like that, and more. And they are fully functional. So I like working with swordguystore.com. Always a pleasure. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you get a bottomless box or another product from swordguystore.com, I hope you enjoy it. I'm confident you will. And I'll see you next time.